Runes is really a much more efficient way of introducing fungible tokens on top of Bitcoin. And it's for three main reasons. First of all, it doesn't introduce a whole new mechanism on top of Bitcoin. It just uses Bitcoin's accounting model, which is called the UTXO, standing for the unspent transaction output model. This is healthy because it means that the network is not forced to adjust to a new mechanism for introducing data on top of the network. So that's the first one. The second one is the fact that it doesn't really leverage this data intensive process of needing to insert a lot of data that relates to those tokens. In that regard, it combines the information related to the owners and the tokens. It combines them in one single bundled up transaction and it spreads them over the Bitcoin network. This is what it's called a consolidated UTXO mechanism. And then finally, because of the fact that Runes is able to insert its data natively on top of the Bitcoin network, because of the fact that we're not really using a new Bitcoin type of data container, this means that we are able to use some of the scaling solutions like the Lightning Network and some of the new scaling solutions that are emerging at the moment in order to have a more efficient experience on top of Bitcoin for the users. So that's really all what it is. There's a lot more to it. It's a very exciting and an innovative way of using tokens on top of Bitcoin. But of course, if you're keen to learn more, do reach out to us because it's quite a lengthy conversation. Cool. So from that point, I think we can start talking about the impact of Runes. As we've just highlighted, Runes has only been live for the past, I would say, 5 days, essentially since the halving really took place. And it's quite phenomenal, the kind of monetary impact that it has on miners. Users have paid up to, I think, up to 1,516 Bitcoins. This was up until yesterday. I think we've reached 1,600. But yeah, we've made north of $120 million worth of revenue for Bitcoin miners. This is exceptional. This is exceptional because as we have highlighted, and as we've always tried to remind you guys, block subsidies are not going to remain forever. So we do need a secondary revenue stream for miners to stay sustainable. But we really do anticipate for this kind of revenue to keep growing over the next few weeks and few months, especially because of the fact that one part that we haven't really gotten into here is that because Runes is quite new, it's not really as straightforward as trading NFTs on Ethereum. It actually requires a couple of technical intricacies. And that's why when you have exchanges like OKX, a tier two exchange, and some of the established NFT marketplaces streamlining the way that users are able to trade those NFTs, it will make it easier and consequently, it will just streamline the whole process, making the trading of NFTs a lot easier. But we also wanted to highlight how much Runes, again, it just launched, but just to give you a little bit of a perspective of the kind of impact it has on fees. As you can see from here, over the last few days, Runes has made up close to 50% of the total fee composition, meaning that out of the total revenue that miners are making, 50% of it is just coming from Runes. It's not coming from ordinals and it's not coming from BRC20. Again, this is truly wonderful to see because this is happening in such a short period of time. Of course, this is an initial hype, which usually means that we see elevated activity as soon as a new primitive launches, and then it slides down a little bit until we see more innovation and we start to see more fundamental implementations coming out on top of Runes.